In terms of evolution, you have to have a ground zero. There has to be the very first of its kind, okay? It's just how it's always happened. Who is the ground zero? Who is patient zero for humanoid kaijus? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Anime Rainbow. Today I got for you a Kaiju number 8 theory discussion video. This theory was one that I saw on Betty Adams' channel, and she proposed a question, and the question was, is Hikari Shinomiya still alive, or is she actually dead, right? Because this comes from chapter 44, and we knew that Kikuru's mother was dead, we just never saw how she died. And chapter 44, with giving us the flashback of Hikari and of the actual fight that happened, well, we didn't really see the fight, we saw her in the midst of the Kaiju number 6 cataclysm, but we never actually saw her square off against Kaiju number 6. So Betty expanded a theory in which she believes that Hikari may not be dead at all. Now at first I didn't think it could be possible, but then my gears started turning and I thought I'd give my 2 cents on it, right? But I do have to preference this by saying, even though they did say she died, we have direct panels of the Defense Force higher-ups covering up Kaiju facts from the public, and the reports of her dying in combat were from the news, the same news that the Defense Force admitted to lying to about number 9 and number 10 attacks. So I'm not entirely sure we can use the manga to directly contradict this theory in this moment, because we know it's something that could have happened in the past, so it's nothing new for them to lie about these things. But I'm confident that if the theory does pan out that her and Isao Shinomiya did in fact do combat, and either 1, he had to take her out, and as a result that would explain his zombie appearance at the end of chapter 44, or 2, he wasn't able to take her out because of the fact that she is his wife and she escaped never to be seen again. That would also explain also escaping with the Kaiju weapon, which would be another reason to explain the lack of Kaiju weapon appearances and even the security surrounding them. They're too powerful to run the risk of there being powerful soldiers being possessed by the power of the weapon and being overtaken, never to be seen again, to use the weapon however they see fit. Now, after chapter 44, I'm really split on this theory 50-50, okay? I'm gonna just give some facts with some speculation thrown in there surrounding the entirety of her theory discussion video. I'll have that link down in the description. I'll have her channel link down in the description because it's a great video and I think more people should be seeing it. So keep in mind, the theory is that Kaiju number 4 took over Hikari Shinomiya. What do we know? We know that it's happened before, okay? We have to use the battle between Director Shinomiya and Kafka as a parallel fight of what happened between him and his wife Hikari if he indeed had to fight her and she just simply didn't die as a result of direct combat with Kaiju number 6. So in that fight, Kafka began losing control when Kaiju number 8 sensed the aura of another Kaiju, specifically one that was stronger than him. Before this, even though he did fight number 9 and 10, it was fairly easy to say the least. I think we can agree on that. His fight with Isao was the first time he fought a Kaiju who was arguably stronger than him, but it was the aura that number 8 sensed, right? This triggered something inside of Kafka that caused him to shut down almost completely and have number 8 take over forcibly and push Kafka's consciousness to the back. Okay, so how does Kafka and this factor into Hikari in number 4? Well, think of her full suit of armor as a full body takeover for Kafka. There may be a reason that despite the threat associated with Kafka that day he was fighting Isao, that he didn't pull out a white Defense Force suit to go along with his white gauntlets. Why? Because this isn't a new occurrence for him and he understands the risk associated with allowing a kaiju too much control or access to your body. It didn't make sense why his gauntlets were white when we first saw it, but we didn't question it, right? He was the Director General, we just thought it was a souped up weapon. You could have speculated that yes, it was a Kaiju weapon. But given what we just learned in chapter 44, it gives more insight into why he chose to only use the gauntlets and not a full suit going up against a confirmed Kaiju threat. So maybe it's him just using a Kaiju weapon, that may be him using it at 50%. But if he was to put the full White Force Defense Force suit on along with it, it may be 100% of the full power of the Kaiju. Maybe every single Kaiju occurrence where they were killed and turned into a weapon, it's a suit of armor and a weapon to go along with it. You can use either or. But regardless of any of that, he would still run the risk of overheating and losing control. Now keep in mind, that's with one Kaiju aura on the battlefield. Kaiju number 8 lost his mind. Imagine what 3 kaiju auras would look like on the battlefield. Everybody would be going haywire. I don't know how the Director General wasn't affected also. Maybe he's always just used the gauntlets and always rocked the black suit with it. Maybe numbered weapon 4 is a very specific numbered weapon where you have to use the suit in conjunction with the weapon just based off of the anatomy of the kaiju it was created from. We don't know the anatomies of a lot of these kaiju, so it's really hard to speculate how the kaiju specifically for Daikaiju number 4 played into the weapon manufacturing. So you have all of this aura presence on the battlefield. You have Daikaiju number 2, 4, and 6, 6 being confirmed, arguably the strongest. That aura presence would be enough to make anybody lose control, and Kafka lost it just off of 1, alright? And we know that number 2 was present that day. So if number 2's aura presence can cause number 8 to lose control, it's possible that it could cause number 4 to lose control. Plus, you have to compound that on top of the fact that you have number 6 aura in there also potentially causing number 4's aura to go haywire and lose control. Now in terms of canon, there is evidence to support this just with the whole synchronization process that they went through during that battle. Nerve link had to be established and cleared, meaning that it had to tap into the central nervous system, which is responsible for muscle reaction and output of force, basically all the physiological actions transmitted from the brain to your body. After that, your cells and the kaiju cells have to be synchronized, meaning you and the kaiju are connected on a cellular level. This is stuff that has already happened with Kafka being a humanoid kaiju. All of this synchronizing of cells and nerve links, the kaiju is a parasite. He has already made these connections with Kafka, which is what leads to his takeover and the takeover ability. We see this when the Director General shows Kikoru an x-ray of Kafka's chest and he says, there is no heart anymore. The kaiju is in place of his heart, meaning that if you remove the kaiju, Kafka's dead. They are permanently bonded to each other. You could make the argument that this is what happened with Hikari. Too many links to the kaiju in the face of other Daikaijus, or too many Daikaijus in one place together. Then the kaiju, having all of these neurological links to Hikari, viewed its life in danger, much like what Kaiju number 8 viewed its life in danger in regards to Kafka versus the Director General, and because number 4 viewed its life in danger with Hikari, it took the wheel. So going back to what I said about how I'm split 50-50 on whether Hikari is alive or not, it's because we've seen what happens when a kaiju takes over a human host and fights all out, alright? Kafka was being torn to shreds internally. His mental was on the verge of collapsing, and if you look at these panels, he was tapping out, okay? It is truly a miracle that he managed to survive. I think the Director General actually goes to him when he regains consciousness in the hospital and actually says, you know, you are really lucky to be alive. If you had a heart, you wouldn't be alive, okay? How does he know they would die if he had a human heart? You get what I'm saying? Again, this goes back to me saying the military, the defense force covers up information in the past, but the Director General being such a high-ranking officer, pretty much always viewed as the strongest, of course he would be privy to that information, and well, I mean, he was there. You can't really lie to a man who was there during the entire thing. But Kafka being torn to shreds mentally, Kaiju number 8 contorting his body, literally allowing Kafka's body to be completely annihilated, just evaporated, just to regenerate his entire being from a core, just to get a hit off on the Director General. These are the lengths that a kaiju will go to when they feel that their life is threatened. Nothing else matters but their survival. If Hikari was taken over by Daikaiju number 4, it wouldn't be a matter of her body being destroyed, it would be a matter of her psyche being destroyed. Her body would be intact. I'm confident that if Kaiju number 8 that day did kill the Director General and just blew up the entire HQ of the Defense Force, Kafka's body would still be in use by Kaiju number 8. His psyche would just be no more. So even the fact that when I was going back and rereading some of the chapters that led up to the fight between the Director General and Kafka, he's extremely calm about everything that is going on, okay? Even from the moment he steps foot on the battlefield, he is very calm. The moment that he sees Kafka transform, he's the only person that's not surprised. Everyone else is like, oh my gosh, he's a kaiju, look at how much powerful he's exerting. But not the Director General, not him. No, he was like, oh, so you finally show yourself. Again, this is going back to the Defense Force cover-ups. In terms of evolution, you have to have a ground zero. There has to be the very first of its kind, okay? It's just how it's always happened. Who is the ground zero? Who is patient zero for humanoid kaijus? Don't know, but I rambled on long enough. If you made it to the end, thank you. If you're new, go plus ultra and smash that subscribe button. It lets me know you rock with the content that I put out on the channel. Like the video if you like the video, dislike the video if you dislike the video, comment on the video your thoughts about what you think is going on. Do you think that Hikari is dead? Did I present enough of a discussion for you to say, a lot of what you said makes sense, but some of the things, it was just a ramble? Or do you think that, nah, she definitely went out like Tatsumi and Akame got killed at the very end there, and she is no more, and they have the number 4 weapon in cold storage along with all the other weapons? Subscribe if you are brand new, and like always, until next time, I'm out.